Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Grant Store Pictures Park Stadium for this afternoon's game between Chorley FC and Marine. A huge game in the offing this afternoon. My name is Pete Tscherewik, joined alongside my Irish counterpart, Oran WIllis. Oran, an exciting game in prospect.
Absolutely, Pete. Business end of the season, as I mentioned before. It's going to be an exciting game today. Really good attendance here at Victory Park today. I think they're here looking for a few goals and looking for the 3 points, Pete.
Yeah, and listen, a big game for many reasons. Obviously, Marine now safely secured their position in the league for next season, and it's the return of a familiar face, Jack Hazelhurst, from the start this afternoon for Neil Young's side.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see Jack. You know, he was quite interesting, potentially coming back on loan here for the reasons that didn't happen. But I know he's been getting a few goals as well, getting a few assists. It's been interesting to see him. But there's enough players on the Chorley team and on that bench to definitely get the 3 points today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Marine sort of play things out, really. I think, are they going to drop their levels a little bit? Can we expect things to be a little bit different, perhaps, because they are now safe in the division? Maybe, maybe not. Well, it remains to be seen, I guess. But we'll soon find out, and it does feel a bit like a must-win game for Andy Priest's team, given the fact that they're the best home record in the league.
Yeah, best home record in the league, Pete, as you say. 74 points from 21 games this season, only 2 losses. We're also the top goal scorers at home in the league as well, with 43 goals and only conceding 18 along the way there. So we'll be expecting the goals today. We're expecting the win today. On average, Chorley scored 2 goals at home every game. Let's see if we can get some today.
Here we go then, the two teams led out by Matt Irwin and the Marine skipper Bobby Grant. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Grant Store Victory Park Stadium for this afternoon's game between Chorley and Marine. My name is Pete Tscherewik, joined alongside Oran WIllis, and as the two teams come out, our view is slightly obstructed, but the crowd is big. The noise is loud and rocking, and we should be in for a treat this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. All week I've been thinking that it's going to be a sort of a performance, I believe, that will be standout and putting a marker down as well. Chorley want the form going through into this playoff season. They want to get the form going in. They don't want to just creep into these playoffs. Third is a bit of a tough task, but it's still not impossible. It's still on, and we want to get up that table as much as we can to get those favourable home draws in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think one of the things I spoke to Andy Priest about in midweek was that idea of, I guess, wanting to get as many points on the board to try and secure that home draw in the playoff. Obviously, the playoffs aren't a given as yet. There's still a lot of work to do in the next 4 games between now and the end of the season, but quietly confident if you can win both games at home today against Marine and against Radcliffe, they'll put you in the prime position to be able to be in one of those spots where, there's still a lot to be decided in that playoff charge at the moment. There's so many teams down to 11th place, so you could get in there. But I suppose Chorley have just got to focus on the game, the game in hand.
They do have to focus on it, and Marine aren't going to be no shakes as well. Like, even though the league position puts them down to that now safe position and staying in the league, they have scored in the last 6 away games, so they do score goals. That's no surprise with Jack Hazelhurst now on the team, but they are a threat. So we can't just expect that it's going to be an easy game today. But we've got to turn up, be professional, and get those goals and get the 3 points.
Yeah, and I think, as I say, there's a few things being mentioned in terms of Marine, in the fact that they are safe, and are they sort of on the beach now? Obviously, last game they played Scarborough Athletic and lost 4-1, having been a goal to the good in front. And from what I understand, a few of the Marine players had actually gone to Aintree the day before, so might have been suffering somewhat from that. But, again, there's no gimme in this league. Any team could beat anyone on their day, and it's just a great moment here. You could just see Harry just scoring in front of the Frank Powell stand end. A great moment for him on his birthday, Andy Priest's grandson. That's a really nice moment for him. And in front of the Marine fans as well, really enjoying himself.
He's giving the Marine fans some sticks, so he is. Lovely Harry, scoring on his birthday.
Good afternoon to everyone tuning in. Good afternoon, Tom. Let us know, everybody, if the audio levels are okay. I'm actually testing out a different device today. So hopefully we'll just see Andy Priest having to run on the pitch to go and grab his grandson, Harry. He's having to run, really. He's having to run after him, Andy Priest, and now he's grabbed him and got him. And It's another great moment, isn't it? Before kick-off, having to go and get his grandson.
Yeah.
But now, all systems go for Andy Priest and his Chorley side. Chris Anderson alongside him in the dugout, and we're just about ready to get underway here. Again, a huge game. We'll keep you updated. Results elsewhere in the National League North as we're off and running here. Surely Adam Blakeman straight away with the ball long and high. But Curzon Ashton, a goal down already. Kidderminster Harriers, and must be the first minute of the game, have scored. Perfect start for Phil Brown's side. And that's another one of these games, Oran, where the top teams having to play against each other. Things can change very quickly.
Absolutely. And, that's off a midweek defeat by Curzon Ashton as well. Yep. Where Chorley moves up the place in the league without even playing on Tuesday night.
Just starting to settle down now. Mike Chorley heading in towards the midfield, and high foot there is the first touch of the game for Jack Hazelhurst, and Adam Henley's in sharply on him. Now into the hands of Matt Irwin, he throws it straight out to Adam Blakeman, and Chorley looking to start on the front foot here, Oran.
Yeah, beautiful, sweet left to right ball by Blakeman. He always does look for that cross ball diagonal.
There's Hazelhurst. Goes long down the line, but it's straight into Mark Ellis. So the second bite of the cherry falls to Andy Scarsbury. Now Hazelhurst again. I have to say, Oran, he does look sharp, doesn't he, Jack?
Yeah.
Although we're in the first couple of minutes of the game, but you look at him, he's more trimmed up, he's a bit more slight. I was talking to him yesterday and this morning. He said normally he'd have a Domino's before the game. Well, he wasn't having a Domino's last night, put it that way. It was certainly chicken and rice. He's now all changed. A season pro, I guess, obviously on loan from Burton Albion, so he'd be really looking after himself still, full time as such. So be interested to see what he probably is the main threat for Marine, and hopefully Chorley will be looking to nullify him as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, it's been a good pickup for Marine, this Jack Hazelhurst. He's probably guaranteed their safety, really, with those to say that they've scored in the last 6 games away. Got the points to keep them safe. But Jack, we know what Jack's ability is. We know how good he is. Bit unlucky at Burton, came in, started well, but then got injured, so didn't actually make his debut until around about, I think, November time. He needed to play his first game. So the right thing for him was to get out on loan to get match time. Burton's gone through a few changes of managers and stuff as well. So I think he's trying to get back to this level, impress like Christy Montgomery has done for Chorley, and making his debut start for Blackburn Rovers today.
Yeah, good battling away from Cole Hall. Just battles away with 21 Josh Wardle. Marine do come away with it, and then Warren Clark very nearly beats away from 23 James Brown. Incidentally, as well in Marine ranks, they've got Harvey Gregson. Harvey, a Chorley lad, previously AFC filed. He's been at Marine for quite some time now, but operating in the middle of midfield normally, be alongside Hazelhurst. So 2 players that will be familiar to many, as Hazelhurst on the ball here, and Aubrey just nips in, gets the ball away. Hazelhurst again, just breaking free. Good sliding challenge from George Aubrey, though, and Marine have stayed relatively high here, though, and it must to be said.
Yeah, I do remember them playing quite high against his opponents. Third place, where obviously they beat us 3-0, but they did play quite high. Oh, Matt Irwin looks a bit injured.
Yeah, he's just gone to punch the ball, but he's being caught by Bobby Grant, and he's gone down here. And hopefully nothing serious, because as we know, Oran, Chorley don't have a goalkeeper on the bench.
Well, it was a strange one. He came up and cleared it, came up above 2 players and took the ball, sort of parried it down to bounce and then collect it, and then just discomfort on his face. I don't think it was.
It just may have been how he's landed more than anything else. Elsewhere in National League North, Alfred Town have hit the front against Peterborough Sports. Another one of these dead rubber games, Oran, where nothing really, there's nothing to play for. Such a thing, Alfreton is safe. Matt Irwin back on his feet, though, as the referees. He's just telling the players to I suppose, prepare themselves and be back and ready again. If a few of them have had a quick drinks break, and now the linesman on the near side having a word with Andy Priest. Just keen to get matters underway again. So Irwin, let's take an extra few yards. Another player as well, wants to look out for, Finn Sinclair Smith. He's another one of these players who's quite prone to scoring, a goal that at this level is not really seen often. I suppose a screamer or a moment of magic is probably a better way of putting it. Or he's one to watch as well. Obviously, he went to Radcliffe in the summer, and then immediately, almost less than a week later, ended up back at Marine. So back in a place he wants to be at. And again, another one of these threats that Chorley will be hoping to keep at a minimum this afternoon. Just a bit of afters there with Cole Hall and James Butler, Oran. Another one. A lot of physicality being shown in the early stages from Marine.
Yeah, a bit of pushing and throwing.
Wilson plays it long towards Hall, who gets up against Butler, and then the ball's played long to find Scott Wilson. He heads it back to Matt Irwin, and 5.5 minutes gone, but no chances of note yet. No shots on goal, no efforts towards goal, and I guess just trying to settle things down a little bit.
Yeah, a bit of feeling out at the minute.
See, continuing to battle away, Butler and Hall. That looks like it could be the battle up top this afternoon. Both, especially Butler, really intent on being as physical as he possibly can with Cole Hall. And Cole, a player who, for many at the beginning of the season, was, I suppose you could call him a flop, but really in the last few weeks on, we've seen the very best of Cole Hall.
Absolutely, winning the ball, winning headers, getting into play, making a nuisance up there as well, and playing in Tom Carr, playing in a Warren Clark through balls, things like that. He's not going to be a 20-goal a season striker, but he can help others get goals as well and pick up a few goals himself.
Well, it's how Jack Sampson has been with Chorley for many seasons. Absolutely. In terms of that hold-up play, bringing others into play. And Tom Carr as well. Took him a long time to get his goal, but now he's got a goal. I think he's on 7 for the moment for the season. And again, some people look at that and say it's not a great return, but he's really grown into his role this season with Chorley, especially having played two leagues below last season.
That's you expect someone from 2 divisions below to get 7 goals. That's a great step up, to be fair.
Oh, that's great, that from Tom Carr. He's just been fouled there, another one of his real qualities. He's gone up and taken the free quickly, which is played in by Chorley. The ball's not great, and Hazelhurst picks up the ball. Chorley looks to try and get the better of him. Second time of asking, it's Tom Carr who blocks it, and it's on near side for a Marine throw.
Yeah, good chance there. Ball was wide for Chorley to get the cross in, but seemed to scuff his cross and sort of went low rather than getting any height in it for the cross. But Chorley are breaking through.
Yeah, we'll just be hoping again, as the two teams do settle into the contest, to get an early goal here. There's been a few games where Chorley have ultimately gone behind early, and there are also more recently, been games where Chorley have hit the front early, and they'll be hoping that it'll be more the latter today. The ball just cannons off the top of the stand, and something plastic's come away. So hopefully.
Bit of guttering, I think that.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of guttering, and Kings Lynn have taken the lead against Farsley Celtic. A game that really, I suppose, for Kings Lynn will feel like a gimme, really, and it's interesting because as things stand, that puts Kings Lynn level on points with Chorley with a better goal difference, but it's one of them, and also, incidentally, obviously Kidderminster being a goal ahead puts them to the top of the league. So maybe all of a sudden the pressure's on Scunthorpe. Looked like there may have been a foul there on Cole Hall, but play continues, and now Hazelhurst in there with Sinclair Smith, and Wilson scores to put his foot through it. I think it was a clearance, but he couldn't keep the ball down. And
yeah, a bit of a strange start in this for both teams. No one's really getting control of the game. It's a bit of a knock it long, head it down, clearance sort of start really for both teams. But statistically, Chorley score.
Chorley, I think, obviously,
most games.
Chorley don't want to concede. They don't want to drop points this game. They're here to win the game. We know how good the home record is, but I guess it's important just to remain patient, remain disciplined, and try and do the basics right and build from that, because I think Marine, if they go a goal in front, maybe they'll be thinking, let's not have a repeat of what happened against Scarborough. But down the line, the throw comes. Flicked up and then up towards Gregson, headed away by Wilson, and Shaw for Marine decides to keep the ball, and another goal's gone in, and it's another one of these teams that's chasing towards his player slots. Darlington have hit the front against Chester. Now Cole Hall down the right, two men occupying him, plays inside, plays into Henley, a good bursting run in. Adam Henley crosses, was a good header away on the box, and Cole Hall, yeah. He was just silly from Cole Hall, really. You see Andy Priest, a bit of a shake of the head. It could have been an opportunity for Adam Blakeman to put in one of the long throws. Instead, Cole makes a silly foul, and Marine have got a free kick.
No, he didn't need to do that. He was going nowhere, the defender. The only thing he could do was to hook it long, and his body position, he probably just would have scuffed it out for a throw-in for Chorley. Didn't need to put pressure on his way he did there. But previous to that, some good play from Cole. Taking the ball down, looking for space. Play it in, Henley. Good turn by Warren Clark.
Great run this from Warren Clark. He's bursting forward. He's given himself a second touch and gave himself a lot to do, but it's forced Butler into conceding a throw, and it'll be the first one of the game where Blakeman can take a long one. Here it comes from Blakeman. The long throw, it's flat towards the front post. Mark Ellis is in there. Half cleared into the chest of Calverley. Manages to squeeze the ball back out to Blakeman, and now there's space for him to deliver across, and it comes, it's deep, it's towards the back post, it's headed by Mark Ellis, it's on target. It's straight into the hands of Matt Metcalf, and that's a half chance, Oran.
Yeah, it was great cross by Blakeman. He had time to take a chance, take it down and put it in. Mark Ellis moved positionally to the back stick, got up high, got his head to it well, but could only put it into the arms of the goalkeeper. It's Jack Hazard picking the ball up in the midfield now. Out wide to Shaw. Happy to pass it around the back is Marine. And then look for that long ball. It's cleared by Chorley.
Yeah, just a moment here where surely we're hoping for more of the same in that regard. Again, it's that age-old combination of Blakeman and Ellis combining, usually from set pieces in terms of corners. This time it's open play. But, Andy Priest and Mark Ellis themselves will know he's got the right to stay up on those situations rather than come straight back, because the amount of threat that he poses from those situations.
Yeah, and then we know that the quality of ball that will come in from Blakeman as well.
It's interesting because sometimes you get those balls come in, and when the player's got a bit more time to put the ball in, the quality of the delivery is almost poor because they've had that extra time to do it. That time, though, with Blakeman, as he's just always Mr. Dependable, isn't he? It's Nolan breaking away from Hazelhurst, gets a bit of a pull, but play carries on. Now Horbury. This time, though, the referee gives the free kick against Gregson. I think he's just pointing there, isn't he, or at Hazelhurst, maybe from that previous challenge.
Yeah, Hazelhurst pulled him a little bit back. Horbury then did charge through and looked like he was going to play it in. Then he was swarmed by three players, and the referee brought it back for the free kick right now.
So again, another opportunity from a set piece. Blakeman, probably about 10 yards past the edge of the centre circle, puts the ball down. You've got everyone up, barring Warren Clark and Adam Henley.
Mm-hmm.
And the targets there are obvious, aren't they? There's Ellis is there, Wilson's there, and now here comes Blakeman. Scoops the ball in towards the box. It's there, it's still alive. Marine hook it clear. Bobby Grant.
That's a foul.
clear foul on Adam Henley that time, though. He makes it obvious. He's trying to use his body, but just sort of grabs the shirt and uses a bit too much.
It's well done by Henley. Henley knew that he gets his body in the right position. He's only going to charge through him and win the free kick. So, we'll try this again. 20 yards back.
This time just inside the Chorley half, but the setup is pretty much exactly the same as what it was at the previous opportunity. Here comes Blakeman. We'll fizz on this one. It's towards Mark Ellis.
I don't know about that.
Not sure about that one. There's a few high fives in there with Marine in terms of Metcalf and Josh Worrell.
That's a strange
one.
Mark
Ellis has got every right to go in for that ball. And Metcalf, to be fair, he does clearly get a hand on it. Ellis goes down, but because he's made contact with the goalkeeper, and it's something that myself and Ryan Jacobs on Magpies and Air have discussed in the past, in that whenever you make contact with the goalkeeper, it's normally a foul. But I just don't think that's a foul.
No, I don't think so as well, because the keeper comes and creates the contact, whereas Mark Ellis is going up for the ball. Yes, the keeper does get a fist to the ball and punches it away, but Mark Ellis isn't looking to make contact with the keeper. The keeper makes the contact with him. For me, that's not a foul. It was just play on. But the referees, it wasn't a penalty either. It was referees stopped and give a free kick.
It's just an interesting one. And you heard the reaction from Andy Priest, almost calling on the referee to I suppose, do better. Gregson plays the ball over towards Grant, who's battling away with Henley. He's clearly attacking Henley at the moment.
Oh, great ball down the line. Tom Clark.
Cards a touch in from Worrell and he's battling away. Elsewhere in National League North, Oxford City have hit the front against Hereford. Another game where another one of these teams battling in for the playoffs finds themselves goal down early doors with work to do. Chorley here. Scunthorpe United have hit the front against Spennymoor Town, so the league leaders are back at the top after Kidderminster's early one, and Chorley just continuing to settle into the contest. The only real chance of the game so far was the header from Mark Ellis, which found the grateful hands of Max Metcalf. Marine yet to have an effort at goal or on goal. 18 minutes gone, and to be fair, it's almost a bit of a nervous energy about the place, isn't there? The crowd isn't in full voice at this moment. It just feels a bit tense. Maybe just needs a moment to sort of G them up and give them a little bit extra to go off.
Yeah.
Nolan there. Away in midfield is Ellis. Well, it's a hopeful ball, but turn gives it away. Sinclair Smith finds Hazelhurst. Down the left-hand side he goes.
Funny you say that, Pete. Was looking at some of the stats as well, and Chorley scored statistically in the first half in the 24th minute on average this season. So we're getting to that point. So let's see if that first goal comes quick.
Now goes Cole Hall, wheeling for company, goes past him, goes down, and you've got to argue. I see you, Oran, doing
that's a booking.
I suppose the age-old hand gesture. It is booked.
Yeah,
so
it's well done by Cole.
On 19 minutes, it's in the book. Nice to have you with us, LJ. The old man was rocking as usual in the Port Mariners Lounge before the game. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Big chance here for Chorley. Very dangerous position. Suits the in-swinging left foot of Blakeman.
It's not going to be one, though, is it, Warren, though, where he goes for goal, surely?
It could do, Pete.
It's interesting, though. Mark Ellis has just gone over to have a word with Adam Blakeman. Perhaps part of the plan.
Yeah. Usually these are always thrown to the back stick, but I think there's something on the front post here, Pete.
Just had a message from one of our staff in the technical area, Matt Swift. He says he thinks it'll be a shot. Well, let's see. Here comes Blakeman.
Oh.
Suppose it was that age old, how do you say it? The
Cross-come shot?
cross-come shot. Well defended by Marine, and they're looking to push out quickly, and it's forced Chorley into going all the way back. Kings Lynn Town have doubled their advantage against Farsley Celtic, and without being the commentator's curse, that's probably game, set and match there. As Cole Hall just having his shirt pulled.
Literally near took it over his head.
Good defending by Warren Clark, and play continues. George Horbury then caught. That's a bad challenge, actually, from Andy Scarsbrick. He's just caught Horbury. I don't think it was necessarily intentional, but a bit of a nasty one, that.
Yeah, they kind of like one went left, the other went right, and he left the leg in and sort of caught him just below the knees. And that could be quite a stingy one, that.
I do think, though, George might be having a bit of a breather. I did see he was almost grimacing when he was having to run for that ball, because he'd done 2 or 3 big sprints in the build-up to it. Obviously, he was down on the far side, and he's brought it all the way across.
Just getting to that magic 24-minute, Pete, as I was mentioning.
Yep.
Good chance for Blakeman to stick this in.
Blakeman again spins it up over the top, finds the head of Ellis. It's flicked on, it's still alive, it's headed up by Calverley. Wilson touches the ball down just inside the penalty area, crosses. Again, though, into the hands of Metcalf, but that's dangerous. And to be fair, great technical ability from Wilson in that instance, in terms of that's your centre half there, digging the ball out, putting the ball down, moving, crossing. And it was a good delivery as well.
Yeah, it was a good delivery. I think there was a bit of a deflection on it, which actually brought it towards the goalkeeper. But, you know, he's got a lovely left peg, so that would have normally been floated right up into the middle.
Good header from Ellis. Interesting, Marine not content in terms of leaving the ball to go out for a throw. They want to let the play flow. They want to try and build something, but that instance, nothing of note, and the ball's behind for a goal kick for Irwin to take.
Yeah. Skin those stats I was mentioning about in terms of when Chorley statistically score in the game. They score in the first half, and also first 76% of the time this year as well. So scoring and leading in the first half is what they've been doing mostly this year.
What would be the ideal scenario for Chorley is Hall flicks it on towards Carr, then towards Warren Clark. Michael Kelly's got the opening goal for Scunthorpe, the fullback, in magnificent form at the moment for the Iron, and Chorley's fullback Adam Blakeman with a long throw down the line. Leaves one on Jack Hazelhurst there, and I don't think there was anything he could do. I don't think you noticed that one, Oran, at the time, but he sort of gone in for put the ball over the top, and as he's trailing legs there, he's put his foot down, and it's just caught Jack Hazelhurst. It definitely wasn't intentional.
No.
But I think because Hazelhurst has gone down in such a heap, it's probably winded him, and then the referee thought, well, I've got no choice now, have I, other than to give the foul. Hereford have now equalised away at Oxford City. It's Yusufu Cisse. What the leveler for Paul Caddis' side. Elsewhere in the Premier League, no goals as yet between the 3 games. Ongoing. Remains goalless here at the Grand Store Victory Park Stadium as things stand. I have to say, though, 23.5 minutes gone, and surely have nullified and restricted Marine to very little in the opening stages.
Yeah, very little from them, but, you know, this is a dangerous team, you know. Apart from the 4-1 win, or 4-1 loss, sorry, against Scarborough, the last time they lost the game was back in February. You know, the day after Valentine's Day on the 15th of February.
Well, they went on that run, didn't they? They went on that brilliant run. I think they took 18 points out of something, maybe not 18 out of 21, but it was a ridiculous stat where they were the most informed team in the league by quite some distance.
21.
Cole Hall battling away again, this time with Josh Wardle, and this time Mark Ellis is beaten to it by Finn Sinclair Smithy. Goes to dive in Mark Ellis, but doesn't catch the man. Ball on the edge of the box. Shot comes in from Gregson. It's blocked. It's the first effort of the game from Marine, and wasn't really ever going to test it. It was into a lot of bodies, but as you say, Oran, this is where Marine will probably fancy the chances and look to threaten.
Yeah. Look, following up on your stat there, it was 21 points from 27.
Yeah.
That's some goal in that, and that's obviously what's kept them up.
Hazelhurst again goes left this time to Sinclair Smith, trying to isolate one-on-one with Henley. Gets the overlap from the fullback, plays across the box. Dealt with by Nolan, and now it's a foot race between Wardle and Hall. And Cole Hall's shirt's pretty much being pulled off that time, and now Wardle leaves one on Cole Hall right on the halfway line. And Cole Hall lucky not to fall into the dugout there.
Yeah, literally pulling the shirt off his back, really.
He has been in the wars in the opening half an hour, Cole Hall. I suppose he's been the one that Marine have really been trying to target.
Yeah, he's the focus of the ball coming up by Chorley, trying to get the ball into him. Then he can lay it off the car or any of the players coming on to play ahead of him. But he's in a battle.
Here comes Blakeman again. Another one set piece played across towards Hall. Oh, he's giving it again. He's giving it again. Cole Hall, this time battling away with Metcalf. And I just think, what else is Cole supposed to do there? He's got every right to go for the ball.
He does. And also the defender's pulling on his shoulder as well.
I guess just maybe an element of frustration. You can see the referee, Liam Smith, just having a word with Cole Hall, maybe just saying to him, look, maybe you're just stepping over the mark a little bit. But again, he doesn't go for that. You just don't know. The keeper might fumble. You're putting pressure on the goalkeeper. You're asking the question, aren't you? What more can you do? Where's the threshold? Anyway, Metcalf will take the resulting free kick just inside his box, plays it long, headed up by Mark Ellis. Gregson meets it, then Calverley. Battling away in midfield, it looked like they touched the arm of. Great play from Cole Hall, tries to flick it and play through Warren Clark. It's long ball played over the top towards Sinclair Smith. He's almost piggybacking Scott Wilson, and now Matt Irwin has ball in hand. Ellis plays the long ball over the top. Wardle leaves it, and Tom Carr was surely on the spot, trying to get in there to make a nuisance of himself, but not to be that time. Again, though, it just has that aura about the place at the moment, doesn't it? Or it's quiet. Crowd aren't really in this one as yet. Maybe the game just needs a goal.
Needs something, doesn't it? A big challenge or a.
There's a good crowd here of over 1,600, I would guess.
Yeah.
And you want the place rocking. You want even the Marine supporters. I think they probably brought maybe 100 max, 50, maybe 100.
Yeah,
a great
100.
effort from them. And the noises now, as we just start to talk about it, it starts to come from the Marine side. And up he gets on a battle away with Whelan, who's obviously on a booking. That time Wilson wins the free kick, and that's, for me, I would go against Wilson in that case. I don't know about you, Oran, but it's one of those where it's almost dangerous, but he sort of does that. It's that foul where Harry Kane was known for doing it for quite a while, where he lands and it's an awkward landing, and it can almost be classed as dangerous.
Yeah, it's like the defender gets up first and the striker sort of backs in a bit. It's like, is it a foul by the defender by getting on top of him, or has the striker been accused of backing in?
Play continues though, and Irwin again, good header this time by Cole Hall. It's cleared away by James Brown, and now Wilson gets it, finds Hall. Good flick up from Hall, and now Henley's there on this right-hand side, plays it back towards Joe Nolan. Press is coming from Hazelhurst. A good ball from Joe Nolan. A piercing ball to find Horbury. Nolan's coming back to offer it the second bite. Gives it to Nolan, crosses. It's dangerous. It's in towards the box, and I think, well, I thought it was going to go out for a corner, but Marine managed to keep the ball in. And look at that, 4 Chorley players surrounding Jack Hazelhurst, and that's what we like. And now Cole Hall Being held again by Josh Wardle, who's screaming at Whelan. I don't think, to be fair to Wardle, you can really discredit that amount of contact. He wasn't doing that much.
No. It's definitely not a penalty. There is contact there, and they've got to be careful because one of them's going to look like a pull-up, and the ref's going to pull it.
This time the ball headed towards the other end, but Wilson doing well this time to see off Andy Scarsbury. Down the line it comes from Blakeman. Over towards Cole Hall, who's won it. Now Jack Hazelhurst is on the ball, and a great touchdown from him. Blakeman. Again, it's Cole Hall battling away on his own, and very nearly the break comes there for Tom Carr. Now, all of a sudden, it's back to the other end. Finn Sinclair Smith has the ball, crosses first time. It's easily dealt with, though, by Ellis. And now Calverley can move. Foul by Whelan. He's got to be careful.
Yeah. You could see the booking for that.
You know what? I think if he's another 5 yards in front of him, maybe if it's a touch more obvious, I think it is one, you know. And obviously, you have to remember, of course, he's on a yellow card. You have to be conscious
I would
of
target
these
him then if I was Chorley. I would go at him, run at him.
Andy Priest sending out some words of encouragement to his side. Another free kick for Blakeman to play just inside the Chorley half. Up it comes. It's looping up towards the head of Wilson it was, and Andy Priest heading his hands there almost. Maybe feels there was an opportunity there to get something from it, from the flick, and it had fallen in Chorley's favour. Irwin plays it long again. Ellis has stayed up for this one. The flag's up though, and Mark Ellis looking frustrated. So Metcalf delivers it long, and I think it will go right the way out the other end for a goal kick to Irwin. And again, the noise continues from the Marine side over at that Frank Powell end, and maybe we just need, like you say, just that little bit of an extra push. Can the fans get us over the line here? Can they offer that bit extra to sort of just make the difference? Because Andy Priest, you know, he said in his interview with me midweek that the fans are going to make a massive difference between now and the end of the season, and you know, it does feel a little bit flat at the moment.
Yeah, need something to get this game to come alive.
So this is the opportunity now. Hazelhurst wins his aerial battle well, and Horbury trying to battle away against Shaw. It's a great flick by Jack Hazelhurst.
Ooh.
He's just left one on Joe Nolan, and hopefully
Clark's in.
Play continues. Marine just stopped dead there, thinking it was going to be flagged for offside. The ball's coming from Clark, and 4 players of Chorley in the box, but headed away by James Butler.
Interesting one that all the defenders left it because it was a Chorley player offside. But Warren Clark ran
Clark
from 20 yards back.
Did really well there to sort of see the opportunity, I guess, and go for it. Good delivery by Warren. Good header that from Tom Clark, and now Clark has it. Goes back to Carr again. Cole Hall's there in support, so is Clark on the overlap, possibly. Oh, he goes to pick it out, and he just about keeps it in. It's a deep cross. Headed up in the air by Calverley, and one foot. Oh, he's dropped it. Metcalf's dropped it. Headed up in the air by Henley. The ball's not just yet. That was good header from the move still alive. This is good persistence from Chorley, hoping that it'll pay off. Can Henley get that? He can. He's wants to cross it and it's just about blocked away by Sinclair Smith, and that was much better, Oran.
That's much better, and that's got the crowd going as well, Pete. Really good play, Warren Clark down, getting that cross in. Tom Carr, excellent play as well. The keeper came to collect it, but he spilled it and dropped it. Could have went anywhere that. But now it's out for a throw in for Chorley. Deep played in by Blakeman. So all the defenders are up.
Throw it comes in from Blakeman. It's going back to him. He takes a touch, 1 second, third. He goes with a nice little cheeky back heel to find Joe Nolan. Nolan will do well to get the ball out from here. He has done. Blakeman testing delivery towards Cole Hall, but there wasn't really an angle for him, was it? It had to be sort of just a dead straight cross, really, to go towards Cole Hall, who again was being pulled.
Yeah, he couldn't get any whip on it. It was kind of more of a punt forward, if you know what I mean, by Blakeman.
Yeah,
obviously out on this unnatural right-hand side for the throw-in.
Just didn't fall for him to sort of swing it in and curl it in like he normally would be more accustomed to. Sinclair Smith down the left-hand side for Marine. Takes on Joe Nolan, looking to beat Joe Nolan. Forced to concede a corner, the first one of the game.
First of the game, yeah.
36 minutes gone here, remains goalless at the Grant Stowell Victory Park Stadium, and Marine have had one effort in the game, and now they've got the first corner. The corner to come in. It's Jack Hazelhurst over to take what will be an outswinger. Sorry, I beg your pardon, it'll be an in-swinger from Jack Hazelhurst. He's not left-footed, he's not magically changed to being a two-footer since leaving Chorley. So when it comes from Hazelhurst, the player from Chorley is down. Given a corner again, I think he has given it again. A Chorley player looked to have gone down, but
yeah, it was good clearance, I think, by Wilson. Put out for another corner.
Hazelhurst this time will go over and take the outswinger.
Obviously, we've been talking about goals for Chorley from centre this season. Marine on farm line, this one. And the kind of scoring this league, we're up there to explore the team's plan. Including the ball in from Hazelhurst now.
Here comes the outswinger. It's overhead kick comes in from Bobby Grant from nowhere on the second occasion. This time Cole Hall probably does the right thing and just hoofs it long. Headed away, now Blakeman goes long and one for Cole Hall to chase. Well, decision for the referee to make that time as Cole Hall was trying to get through. It looked like he was half impeded, but I think, to be fair, Oran, it was probably just a case of being a genuine battle for the ball.
Yeah, a bit of a good battle for the ball there, but I think the defender was quite smart. He made it look like he fell and not committing a foul, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Good touch from Tom Carr. I don't know how he's not been given a free kick there. And now Jack Hazelhurst on the ball, left-hand side, picks out Sinclair Smith, who's looked dangerous. Comes inside Sinclair Smith. Out to the left, across delivered, but again, it's flush onto the head of Mark Ellis. I'm sure his touch is a bit loose, and Cole Hall's there nipping in straight away. Wardle. Leicester have equalised away at Brighton. That's the first goal that Leicester have scored in over 12 hours.
Wow.
A goal that won't mean an awful lot in terms of Leicester's survival chances, but maybe a good morale boost for Ruud van Nistelrooy's side.
It's been unlucky with Nistelrooy, I think. It looked like a good team to go and manage, after his little spell with Man United. But
we were talking last night with a friend and saying how close was he to getting the Man United job, probably a decision that they don't regret anymore.
No.
Nolan. Just have the beating of Hazelhurst, and he's really trying to be physical, Jack, to get the better of him. Now Warren Clark goes for it, but now Chorley potentially exposed here. It's 2-on-2 and Sinclair Smith got Henley coming. That's the beating of him, but it's on target, and that's a huge chance for Marine.
Yeah, he should have done a lot better as well. He just hit it straight up, Matt Irwin, who was thankful for it.
One of them, though, wasn't it? Where I think, completely being unbiased, I think Sinclair Smith should score.
Yeah, I think he should. He turns Henley, creates a bit of space, then gets the strike away quite clean, not being blocked. But he puts it right down the mouth of Irwin, really. He needs to go low, left or right of Irwin, not straight at him. Chorley were lucky there. Was a bit of a against the run of play sort of break. You know, Joe Nolan tried to clear it and head off the Marine player and then actually ran through forward for Sinclair Smith. But Chorley will need to be careful.
Yeah, I think that was, to be fair, the biggest chance of the game for me.
Yeah, so
it
far,
really was a clear-cut chance, and listen, when it's a 2-on-2 situation like that, you've got Henley's got to decide where he comes. He has to come across ultimately to try and cover Sinclair Smith, and you kind of your heart's in your mouth thinking you're resigned to conceding here. But listen, Irwin was calm and composed. He stood up to the test, but Sinclair Smith will be kicking himself. Metcalf goes long. Pops the question of Blakeman through a head is Scarsbrick and wins his side of throw for Marine. Another one again for Cole Hall to chase down, but ball's poked over the top and again runs through behind for another goal kick. That's where National League North Buxton have taken the lead against Scarborough Athletic away from home, and as things stand, that leaves Buxton in 8th place, but Chorley remain, as things stand, as they were in 5th. A lot of points to play for and around these playoff positions today, and Chorley, as we've mentioned, Oran will be really looking to sort of get themselves into the driving seat.
Yeah, really need to be looking for the 3 points today. There's plenty of time left in this game. You know, coming up to half time now.
Yeah, it's just ticking over. Maybe, I guess, probably Andy Priest will be happy to go in goalless at the break. It's not being vintage from the side. And see Cole Hall has just left one on Jack Hazelhurst there, and you see Jack now up in the air having a little chuckle to himself, Cole having a little chuckle to himself, and it's nice that you can have a bit of hustle and bustle, a bit of pulling and shoving, but enjoy it. Although Cole Hall's really has had the brunt of it so far. Maybe one last chance. Nope. That time Bobby Grant trying to battle away with Scott Wilson. What's played over the top is a teasing one from Blakeman to try and find Cole Hall, and
it's been a bit floaty over the top, rather a clinical pass from Chorley this first half.
It's just tough at the moment. I think just looking to carve out that killer chance again. Marines very much against the run of play, and he shouts inside the box for a penalty. I couldn't make that one out, Oran.
No, I think he was looking for it, to be honest.
Maybe a half chance.
He was looking for a bit of contact and then going to say that he was pulled.
I think you're right there. Warrington Town have taken the lead against Brackley Town. That's a huge, huge goal. Although Warrington are now relegated, will play a big part in the title race. Warrington Town ahead. Although I must say, wouldn't like to play Brackley away in the playoffs again this year, or so maybe one last chance of the half. We are just ticking over towards 44 minutes. Blakeman with a long throw opportunity again, where only Clark and Henley have stayed back. It comes from Blakeman. It's towards Mark Ellis, but he's beaten to it and came back to Blakeman, but it was straight at his head. And
Got to be careful here.
no, that's why they have to be careful, and very nearly exposing the counter, but for a good header from Mike Calverley. Irwin was just seeing if he was being allowed a minute to go and pick the ball up, but no press from Finn Sinclair Smith. He's not bothered. He's letting Irwin come forward. He punts the ball towards Hall. It's in the air, and yes, this is where Marine look at the strongest in terms of they're very good in their aerial battles. Although now maybe one last chance. Nope. Time for Warren Clark. Headed up by Blakeman and gives one for Cole Hall to get on the end of. Touches down on the right-hand side. Two Marine players trying to battle away with him, and good touch from Mark Ellis. Oh. Just caught George Horby there, did Mark Ellis, with a long ball. One added minute, Oran, and again, first half really that Bobby Grant just having to be pulled over by the referee, Liam Smith.
Looks like exactly that colour. If they don't say keep going, you know,
having a word with him. It looks like a stern word, to be fair. I think Grant, to be fair, he's very physical, and
he'll talk himself into a booking here, but he's not careful.
Wow. Opportunity knocks for Marine. They've got a throw, and down the line it comes. It's towards Marine player, but it's headed on by Carr. And that'll do it. On us even at half-time. Chorley's best chance probably came through Mark Ellis, didn't it? The header that was straight into the hands of Max Metcalf. Marine, though, arguably with the best chance of the game by quite some distance. It was Finn Sinclair Smith who found himself free on a 2v2 situation on the break. And really, Oran, as we said, he should have scored, but we go in at the break on as even, goalless. Plenty to play for.
Yeah, still plenty to play for. I think Precy will be still happy with how the lads have played. Although not creating anything clear, he'll have a look at it. He'll have a think about what he needs to change slightly, whether it be positional ways or player ways on the pitch, or maybe ask people to make better runs in certain directions. He'll have a plan to make this team play better in the second half, come out and get the win, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe a message of just sort of keep what you're doing, but you know, we need that little bit extra. Keep being, as I said earlier, you've got to keep being patient. You've got to just keep trying to plug away at it, and then eventually it'll come off. I can't see it being a second half that's going to be full of goals, but it might just be that one goal makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's that little bit more clinical pass, and you know the forward players making that movement or making that turn or making that flick on, just stick and then getting that shot away.
Yeah, and I think, as I say, it might be just that one moment of quality that separates the two sides. And Sinclair Smith was where it needed that bit of quality, and he couldn't provide it. And surely he'll be hoping when they come out after the restart to, to do better.
Absolutely, and there's options on the bench, as we know. We've got options. There's Motores on the bench.
They'll be looking to do one over on his former side, Marine, of course, and
you've got Courtney Senior and Whitehouse too.
It's probably a stronger bench with Chorley you've had for quite a while, to tell you the truth, and you know there might be moments where we need those players to come in, but as for now, remains goalless, and go and grab a brew, grab a break, Kit Kat, whatever you fancy, and we'll be back very shortly. If anyone's got any questions, drop them in the comment box below, and I'll come back to you when I can.